Yes. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now we are moving ahead to define your own module, how you can define your own package. Now this is important. Everyone try to remember it. So whenever there is a big application, so at that time you can use a technique. You can define your separate module. Each and every student can define their own module, and then basically you can utilize it inside your program. So at that time also, some you can see that on the internet they have implemented many more module or the packages is to be available. So in this way they are trying to implement it. So whenever you want to use make your own module, at that time suppose this program I have written, so you can save this file with the name mymodule.py. Remember the name of the package or the module, mymodule.py. You save your program, this program, with this name mymodule.py. And now you have used def display, print hello, then print name of the called module name. Same code I have used, which I have referred in the previous program. So it will print the name of the module where you have written, right? And after that, outside your dev functions, you have written str welcome to the world of the Python. So here we have written one program, my module, in which we have written the code of printing. And after that, where name of the called module, it will be printed. And one string is to be initialized, welcome to the world of Python. Now we are trying to make the another file, right? This one file is made and save it in the mymodule.py. Now make another file and try to use it. Now this file, try to save this file with any name as per your choice. So that's why I've written save this file with any name.py, any name which you want to give it. After that, once you have saved this file, import my module. Remember it, this my module is nothing but this name of this file. Name of this file is my module.py. So here you have to import my module.py. That my module should be there in the program, otherwise it does not accept this import package, because it says that the package is not available. So it will is it basically importing your my module.py. And after that we are printing my module str. My module str is equal to my module dot str. So what it will do basically, it will try to access your string value. What is the string value here? Welcome to the world of Python. So my module is the name of that package dot str. Here it is want to print. So you can see the first line of the code. My module str is equal to, so welcome to the world of the Python. Here we are not giving anything, but here it is there. So it will try to use it. So that's why it is printed welcome to the world of Python. Next is my module dot display. So it will call the display method of my module. What is the display method? Hello is to be printed, right? And then name of the called module is to be printed. So hello is printed, then name of the called module is, now it is not main, now it is my module, because the name is my module.py. So the package name is my module. My module, right? After that, here written name of the calling module is name underscore name. Now it will calling what is the name of this module. So it will print the name of this module is main. So you can see the output, the main is to be printed. In this way you can define your own module and you can utilize it. Hope everyone have understood. Now making your own module in the similar same program that we have used in the earlier one. But here what happens, you can see it here, we have written import my module, right? You can use it in this way, from my module import star. So at that time there is no need to use my module, my module dot str, my module dot display. If you want to remove that, you can write it for from my module import star. And suppose you want to print the string of this one, this string you want to print. So instead of using my module dot str directly, you can use the str. So you can see it here. Print my module str is equal to str. So directly the str is printed. Then display method is directly called. This display method is directly called. We no need to write my module dot display. Display will be directly called. So you can use the display and then name. So you can see the output. My module str, welcome to the world. Then hello. Then name of the module is my module. Then name of the calling module is your main. This is the second way how you can utilize your module which you have defined. Now here, write a program that defines a function large and small in a module, which will be used to find large and smaller of two values and call from a code in the other module. So now you see this example. So after that, I think so it will be more clear to you. So the name of this file is my module underscore large underscore small dot py. You save this program with this one. So the here two functions are defined. One is your large and second is your small. Def large a comma b. If a greater than b, return a, else return b. One method is implemented. Second method, def small a comma b. If a less than b, return a, else return b. Two methods are implemented. Now name of this program is my module underscore large underscore small dot py. Now we can import this one. Import my module underscore large underscore small into the other file. So here use code. Try to use this code into the other using the import package. Now suppose this program I have written and save this program with the name as find.py, or otherwise any name which you want to use, you can utilize it here. But always remember it, whatever the things we are using for saving this part which is to be used as the import, you should remember it, what will be the name of it. So basically I will say first decide it what will be the name of it, so it will be remembered whenever you are trying to call it. Like here it is my module underscore large underscore small. So first thing what I have given, from my module underscore large underscore small import large comma small. These two methods you want to import, or otherwise you can use the import star as well. So everything will be imported, but in this you have only two methods, so you can use in this way as well, large
Star
comma
will
small.
import all the.
Yeah, if suppose there are three methods, large, small, medium is also there. So at that time if you write only large and small, so large and small is only accessible, medium is not accessible. But if you want to access also, you can use the import from my module underscore large underscore small import star, so it can access large, small as well as medium. Hope you have understood. Now you can save this program with any name. Suppose I have saved it with the find.py. Then a is equal to input. First input is taken. Then b is equal to second input is taken. Both the values are taken. Now we'll try to basically use all the methods of the package which is defined by the user. Right. The name of the package is large and small. So you can see it here. Print large of a and b. So large a comma b is to be taken. Print small of a and b. So the small of a and b both are taken. So both the values are now printed, large as well as the small. So module should be placed inside. Now here, first we'll see the output, then we are coming to this part. Both the numbers are entered. Enter the first number 5, enter the second number 5. Right here, the first is written. That's why the output is in the output is printed first, but it should be second. Enter the second number. So 5 and 7 is here. Then we call large and small. So what happens here? Which one large and small? This large and small will be called. So you can see the output. Large of 5 and 7 is 7. Large of 5 and small of 5 and 7 is 5. So now hope everyone have understood how to define your own package and how you can utilize it. But one more thing here you can see to it, which is to be given in the black board. Module should be placed in the same directory as that of the program in which it is imported. So both the places will be same. So for example, it is in the D drive in your own folder. So that my module underscore large underscore small dot py, it should be available on the same folder where the find.py is available. For example, in the D in your folder, both the files should be there. So hope you have understood package part. You can reply it if you have understood. Everyone understood?
जी सर।
Thank you. Anas is asking a question, sir. Writing my module is compulsory? No, writing my module is not compulsory, Anas. I'm giving here only the name of the file, right? Name of the file, as you can see it here. Here the name of the file is my module underscore large underscore small dot py. Means we are defining the name of our own file. Suppose you want to write large small dot py, so you can use it. No problem. There is not compulsory that you can use the my module. For example, here in this previous example, here also I've used my module, but instead of that, only if you want to use disk.py, so you can also use it. But at the time of importing, you should remember it that whenever it is imported, the file name should be there. This is basically nothing but the file which you have created with the .py, my module.py, and second here inside here my module underscore large underscore small .py, and we are trying to utilize it. So there is no need to define it. What was the other question? Anas, hope you have understood. Anas, are you there?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Samir asked the question. That is the name of it. Yes, this is the name of your package or the file which you have created. So you can import it at that time. It requires a specific name, so it should be defined by the user. But always remember, whenever you are writing the name, you should follow the rules of your identifier declaration. That's it. Otherwise, you can use it whatever you want to name it. Samir, hope you have understood. So I hope now everyone can define their own package and then they can utilize it inside their programs. So if you are doing the project at that time also, it will be required to define a multiple number of the package and you can easily call it. Next is your dir functions. This is your built-in functions which are used to identify the module. This identifier include the function classes and variables. So if you are using that dir functions, you can see it here. From my module underscore large underscore small import star. This is the module which is defined by the user, not inbuilt. जिसके अंदर दो functions थे large and small. Now if you are writing print dir function, so what it will do, it will print each and everything which you have used inside your program, like annotation, built-in docs, file loader, it is automatically there, name is there, then package is there, then you can see that a and b, you have used the a and b is now it is printed, display method is there, now it is printed, then large and small method is there, then string is there, so everything which is used inside that function is used to be printed. Random generator, if you want to generate any random number at that time, you can use the random generator. Like those who are trying to implement some games where you require a certain random number is to be generated, like you are using for example a ludo or etc, where the random number is to be generated, like the user should not know what will be the number is to be generated at that time, you can use that random generator. So from a random import star, then print random number between 0 and 1. So if you only use the print random, it generates the random number between 0 and 1, between 0 to 1. Suppose you want to print the random number between 1 to 100. So at that time, you can use that specific range. It generates the random number between 1 to 100. So you can specify the function as rand int. Initially 0 to 1 may random, then 0 to 100, 1 to 100, the specific range is given, so rand int 1 comma 100. uh, Print floating number, if you want to print a floating number, so initially it was printing the integers, now you want to print the floating numbers, at that time you can use print uniform 1 comma 10, so it can generate the random floating numbers between 1 to 10. Suppose you want to shuffle a list, so at that time, what you can use the shuffle method is to be used. Suppose the item or the list is declared item is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the list is to be declared. The name of the list is item. So shuffle items. So at that time you will get the shuffled values. This is not in the same order. Some shuffled value will get it. Now to pick a random number from the list at that time, how you can pick it? Suppose the list is declared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to pick one random number from the item. You want to pick one random number from the item. So what you can do? X is equal to sample, then items comma 1. It will pick one random item from the list and you can print it. Suppose you want to print you can also print it by using the x of 0, which is your data picked random number at the 0th position. You want to pick a 4 random number. At that time you can only use the item comma 4, y equal to sample item comma 4. So 4 it will pick 4 random item from the list, and then these 4 numbers you can print it. So in this way you can pick any random number, and you can pick only one random number, and then you can display it whenever it is needed. You can see the output. Random number is to be generated, then random number between 1 to 100, any single number is to be generated, then floating number is to be generated. Then the number is, now you can see that it is shuffled 3 5. It was 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now it is you can see 3 5 6 10 1 2 4 etc. It is shuffled. You want to pick it, so x is equal to 3. This number is to be picked. For number you can pick the 4 number. So hope everyone have understood the functions in the Python. What is the meaning of the functions? What are the different ways by using which you can define your function? The function can be parameterized function. The current function can be non-parameterized function. The functions which are parameterized, you can pass both the values or some default values to be initialized. At that time, you have the flexibility that you can pass only one function, parameters or two parameters. But whenever you are defining a default argument, you make sure that default, after assigning the default argument, all the further arguments should also have the default value. Non-default argument should not follow the default argument. This rule has to be followed. Otherwise, if you don't know how many parameters to be passed inside the functions, the list is not known to the user. At that time, you can use the arbitrary type, where you have to define the parameters as the asterisk, and multiple types of the data can be passed. The return functions can be used inside your functions, inside your method, which may return a single value, which may return a two value, or which can also return a set of the values. Then we have seen what are the different ways to define your packages, how the user can implement their own packages inside your program. What are the different ways by using, what will be the name of the program? You should remember it whenever you are trying to call it. And at the same time, the methods and etc., which is to be defined inside that package, you can call it. But for that purpose, you have to import it, and make sure that both the files which you have created as the import package and in which you are trying to use it, it should be available onto the same directory. And then we have seen the various other packages like math and sys. Then we have discussed the how to accept the command line arguments data from the users. And then we have seen the math library or the math package as well. Then the random, how the random values to be generated in between the specific number, in between the 0 and 1 number, in between the floating point number. Similarly, how the number can be shuffled and that particular data is to be printed. So here basically we have understood the functions in Python. Now there is one motivational quote for everyone. There is no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs. Likewise, we are trying to prefer the elevators to go ahead, but whenever you want to go to the point of the success, education, in the educations, you have always tried to go steps by steps, or you can say the step by steps, so that you can achieve the success of it. So hope everyone have understood the functions. If you have understood, post it in the chat box. So everyone has posting understood. Okay.
जी सर.
Can anyone tell me what are the different ways in Python by using which you can define the function? Anyone unmute and reply.
Def function name colon and
Okay.
our statements.
Okay, def keyword is used, and then name of the arguments, name of the function, then argument. Okay. What the difference you got as compared to the previous languages? Can anyone tell me?
So the syntax is different.
Okay, one thing is syntax is different, and
there is no data type like int, void, and
sorry.
there is no particular data type like int, void for returning.
Oh, yeah,
for
there
naming
is
the
no.
function.
Yes. In the method, we are declaring always the data type like void, integer for returning. But here, at the time of returning, also it does not require any data type. Good. And any other point? Many more differences.
Multiple returns.
Yes, multiple returns is also possible here. Multiple returns, you can pass it either 1, 2, or n numbers, or at the time of calling, what I have said or what you have understood at the time of calling. Or what is default argument?
We can pass the arguments before only. Even if you are not defined the argument, the previously set argument will be executed.
Yeah. Here you can define the default argument also. If you are not passing, it will take the default argument. If you are passing, it will be replaced with the incoming argument. So here the default argument possibility is there. But the rule, what it says, what is the rule for it? Who was asking the question, and I have answered it with the points number 3 onto the slide. किसने पूछा था वही आंसर करो वापस, if you have understood. Can we define the first argument as default and second is non default inside the function? First one is default and second is non default. Can we assign it in this way?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
No,
Ji,
sir.
No. Faz is saying no.
If the first one is default, the second one should be default.
Yeah, the default should always follow the default. Default should not follow the non-defaults. So Faz is answering if the default values provided, other parameters followed by should be default in this way. Otherwise non-default, default in this way you can go ahead. So next is if you don't know the list, if you don't know the number of the data which you are trying to pass it, at that time what you are going to use it in functions. At the time of calling, you are not knowing how much data is there. So how you are going to use it? Anyone unmute and reply. Anyone unmute and reply.
Sir, in argument, asterisk and parameter name should be defined.
Yes, you can use the asterisk symbol and it will indicate that at the time of calling there may be a possibility n number of the data type is to be, n number of the data is to be passed, because we are not knowing how much data is to be passed or the call at the time of the function. So at that time you can define it as the arbitrary type of the arguments, and then you are going to utilize it. Is there it is mandatory whenever you are trying to use the module or the package to import it, or without import also you can go ahead?
No, so we have to import.
Yes, Anas is asking, we have to import. So whenever you are defining any package like mymodule.py, you have defined, if you are trying to use that my module, you should import it. Import my module, right? Or from my module import star. Suppose, listen the question carefully. Suppose we have three methods, large, small, and medium, right? If you want to access only the specific method, like your large, small, so how will write from import? What you will write?
Import my module and name of the specific method.
Yes, from my module import large and small. Suppose I want to use all the methods. Suppose the method is available in large, small, medium, small 2, small 3, etc. So
Use the asterisk.
followed by strict.
followed by stick. So you can write from my module import star. In this way you will go ahead. Okay. I want to generate, suppose you want to generate a random number in between 0 and 1. So which method you are going to use it?
Random.
Random, sir.
Random number directly. You can use the random. So it will generate the one value in between 0 and 1. Suppose we want to print a single value in between specific range, for example 1 to 100 integer value. So what will be the method? Randint is the method which is to be
Random
used.
1 to 1.
Yeah. Random is not randint. Randint is the method which is to be used to generate any single. Suppose you want to print a float value in between that particular range. So which method you are going to use?
Uniform.
Uniform. Yes, has answered very quickly. The uniform method is to be used. So basically it will print that particular float value in between the range which is to be specified. Suppose there is a set of the list to be available. So if you want to shuffle the content of the list at that time, which method you are going to use it? Shuffle method is to be used. So basically it will shuffle your data. So these are the methods which we have used. Now, can anyone tell me any 5 method of this string जो हमने आज पढ़ा है? Tell me any
Case
5
hold.
method.
Length, sir. Length method count.
Okay. हाँ बोलो जो बोल रहा है बोलो. Length.
upper, lower, ASCII, encode, length.
Okay.
Case fold, lower,
Hmm.
or find.
Yeah, are fine.
Count.
Index.
Index.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the difference between case fold and lower method
Are
in string?
Okay. Let me show you the output. आपने पूछ लिया तो let me share.
I got the same output by
Let me share
following
this.
those.
Yeah. You will get the same output. No problem. You will get the same output. Now you'll understand with my code. You can see the screen. The screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Now you see. Now everyone see to it. The question is important because whenever you learn it, you will get the same output. Whatever he said, it is correct. But what is the difference of it? Try to understand it. Capitalize. Now you can see that here string is that Python is awesome, right? Here, you see the code. Or should I maximize it? Now it is visible more clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can see that first the string is declared string. Python is awesome. Second, capitalized string. Now we are using string dot capitalize method, right? Dot capitalize. This capitalize method is used. What it is does, this returns the string first letter capitalized and the rest lowercase. So whenever you are printing old string, you can see that Python is awesome. It is printed same as it is, right? But the second one is your capitalized string. So whenever you're printing capitalized string, you can see that Python P capital and now everything is small. So this is the use of the capitalize. जो भी string रहेगा उसका first letter को capital करेगा and rest all will be the small. Next, non-alphabetic. Suppose you use string plus is an operator, then new string dot capitalize. Now what happens in this case where the first is not a character, it is the special, or you can say the operator. So if you're printing old string, so it will be printed same as it is, plus is an operator. At the same time, whenever you're printing the new string, so plus is an operator, it will be same. So it does not capitalize first, rest all will remain same. Now case fold, what you are asking for. Case fold returns the lowercase string generally used for the caseless matching. This is more aggressive than the lower method. for what it is used. So the lowercase using the case fold, the string is there. String is awesome. One string is to be defined. Then second string, lowercase string dot case fold, string dot case fold. So what it will do, it will lowering the case of the string. So you can see the output as Python is awesome. आपने और किसमें ट्राई किया था? सलमान कौन कौन था?
Yes, sir. The combination. Yeah, lower method.
Lower. So you can see that it is printed in the lower case, right? Python is awesome. Similarly here the string was in the capital. Now in the case fold it is printed in the lower case. So comparison using the case fold. For example, the German language letter, you can see it now here, it will be more clear. This is one German letter is given as B. It is equivalent to SS. Then you can only understand the difference in between these two. Otherwise you will get the same output. The German letter, that is your, this one, it looks like a beta, which is equivalent to SS. However, since beta is already the lower case, the lower method does nothing to it, but the case fold convert it. समझ में आया? Some
Yes, sir.
characters where has the some specific meaning. Whenever you are trying to use the case fold on it, it will try to convert it. But whenever you are using the lower, it will consider it as the lower. अभी यहाँ पर देखो, first string DERFLU and then beta. This is your German lowercase, and it is equivalent to the SS double S, right? Second string is der flush, right? So now here beta is equivalent to SS. Remember it. Now I am applying if first string dot case fold is equal to second string dot case fold, so it will print both the strings are equal, right? Else it print that the strings are not equal. So what it is going to print, it will going to print that the strings are equal. So in that case, how it is equivalent? Because this case fold which is used along with your first string, it will convert that your B into SS. So that's why both the strings are same, and now here it is printed as these strings are equal. But whenever you use the lower case, now in this scenario, so it will give you the different, that this string is different and the other string is this different. So hope you have understood the difference in between the case fold. Where I have applied the case fold on the string is awesome. So whenever it is case folded, it prints into the lower case, right? But to understand in difference, so we have taken the simple example of one characters, which is your German character. Now it is equivalent to SS, and now we are trying to case fold it. After that case fold it, we are trying to compare it with the other string. Now it says both are same, but both are different. So this is the thing which are used along with the case fold. Hope you have understood.
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank
This
you,
is
sir.
the difference. Otherwise, you can see the lower and the case fold both are same in your case of this scenario. I will also upload this tutorial where all the methods are directly given. You can refer it. Hope everyone have understood and enjoyed the session. Now we are coming to an end of the session. If you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask it. I will try to answer it. Otherwise, I have answered all the queries that you have forwarded. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Everything will be uploaded on the Moodle. You can refer it and try to execute it.